Alright, the key thing here is to make sure you know what this symbol means. It's a U-shaped, it means union, and when you take a union, you unite things or combine them. So we're going to combine everything in sets B and C. So just take all these numbers and dump them into one new set. So the new set should have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also these numbers. Well, we already said 2 and 4, so it should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and also 6 and 8. So it's choice C here. Here again, you have to know what all these different symbols mean. So we're going to fill in the blank. B intersect C. So that it looks like an upside down U. It means intersect. Think of a road intersection where the two roads are in common. So the intersection is where these two sets have something in common. So they both have the numbers 2 and they both have the numbers 4. So B intersect C is the numbers 2 and 4. And so 1 is not a member of the numbers 2 and 4. It's not part of that. So this symbol right here means that whatever is listed is not part of the set. If it doesn't have a slash through, we would use D. So let me show you an example. This is 2 and 4. So the intersection is 2 and 4. Sorry, my braces don't look very pretty, but I could say the number 2 is an element. It is part of that set, and I would use the symbol. But what we had in the problem was the number 1, which since the number 1 does not show up over here, we just use the symbol with it crossed out. 1 is not in there. Here's an addition with negative numbers. Definitely use a calculator for these, but also really make sure as you're using your calculator to practice making sure you're typing the right the right buttons on your calculator. There's a negative sign, there's a minus sign, and just once you get in the habit of typing it incorrectly, your calculator will be an amazing tool. So make sure you find the negative sign and type in -9 plus 17. And think about it, if you were negative $9 in the hole, so you owed somebody $9, and then you got $17, so you added $17, what would your net worth be then? So you'd pay off that 9, and then you would have $8 left over. So that's why these things add up to 8. Again, use a calculator here. You're negative $9 in the hole, and then hit -4. And think about that, what that would do if you owed somebody $9 and then went -4. So now you owe them even more. What would your total debt be? You'd be -13. This is a great rule to learn here. Whenever you have multiplication or division, every pair of two negatives will cancel themselves out. So 4 times -9, there's just one negative, so the answer should be -36. But if we had two negatives, let me show you an example. So multiplication here, we have two negatives, -4 times -3. Those will cancel out and give you a positive 12. And your calculator should verify that. Here's a great way to make sure you're typing stuff in correctly on your calculator. If you type it in wrong, this could give you a -12 answer. So try using the parentheses as you type it in. Most calculators have parenthesis keys, and if you type it in correctly, the calculator should give you a +12. So that's a good practice one to make sure your calculator's giving you what you think you're typing in. All right, moving on. Here's a division, but there's just one negative sign, so our answer stays negative. -6 divided by 2, -3. Here's division with two negatives, so they cancel out, and you would get a +2. I came up with one more long example here. The point was just to emphasize that this whole expression here will come out to a negative answer because you'll have this negative sign that cancel out with that one. Every two you find, they'll cancel out with multiplication and division only, not with addition and subtraction. But so those two cancel out, and then we have one left, so our answer is going to be negative. And I believe 3 times 2 would be 6, times 2 would be 12, times 5 more would be 60, times 6 more would be 360. And it's going to be negative because every 2 cancel out. We still have 1 that never got canceled. Use your calculator on this one. There's 2 negatives, so the answer should be positive. And -5, I think you hit multiplication or did a multiplication because these 2 things multiplied together would be 1. But 5 divided by 0.2, how many times will 0.2 go into 5 is basically what division means. I think that answer should be 25. 25. So you can verify that with your calculator. And great job here in the last one. You can never divide by 0. Your calculator should say error if you try to type this in. It won't let you do it. You could do it the other way around. If you had 0 divided by 32, the answer is 0. But you can't divide by 0. So nice work.